Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul, joined by Jack Weinberger, Robert Ziggy Ziegler at the University of Virginia for the last time, correct?
Correct.
I
move tomorrow.
This is officially the last time I can say from the University of Virginia.
The big move.
Probably.
Big move's coming up.
Wow. So I guess during the time that most people are listening to this podcast tomorrow, you will probably be in the car on your way up to Boston.
No, I will probably be loading stuff into the car, feeling miserable.
Yeah, Shipping up to Boston, Ziggy. Are you going to go to the Notre Dame Boston College game this year?
Oh yeah,
that's a must. That's a must attend.
I'll be there too.
Who will you be rooting? I guess that's fair. You could root for Boston College. That's understandable.
I'll be there with David rooting for Boston College.
Jack wants to come to the Miami Notre Dame game, Ziggy, because I've been waiting. For people who don't know, I've been waiting 8 games for this year because I went in 2017 when Notre Dame lost like 40-8. It was horrible. I was in the parking lot before the game. People are coming up to me. I'm a freshman. People are saying, "Who do you think's going to win?" And I don't talk a lot of trash. I just look these guys straight in the face. These Miami people. I was like, I think we're going to run down your throat. We had 33 trucking. Remember that?
What?
I said we're going to run down your throat. We had Josh Adams, who was like the Heisman candidate.
14 zip in the first minute.
Well, Wimbush overthrew Claypool, I think, on the first drive, and after that, we just got railed.
So I want to be in that stadium rooting for Miami, but the problem is...
So here's the thing, Ziggy, is I've been waiting for this game for 7 years up until last offseason, and in July, they move it because it was supposed to be in Notre Dame. And Miami overbooked their schedule and canceled the Notre Dame game. I'm like, are you kidding me? And now we're going to Miami this year. So that's annoying that we're not at Notre Dame anymore. But still, it's been 8 years. I've just had this 40-point drumming in my head waiting for
it. What is it with you, these words?
I don't know. They just come to me. And Jack wants to come to the game. And he's like, yeah, this is a Miami spot. I'm definitely taking Miami. I'm like, I don't want to sit with Jack if he's rooting for Miami.
Well, I'm not going to outwardly root. I'll just enjoy the game.
But I know,
that's not the only betrayal people on the Paul Farrington Show have suffered over the past couple of days.
What?
That's not the only betrayal that people on the Paul Farrington Show have suffered over the last couple of days.
Who's also been betrayed?
Me, by your father.
My dad was actually upset about this yesterday. He came home from work. And he was saying, he's like, I can't believe Ziggy's not giving me my credit.
And then he's a Minnesota Vikings fan, Minnesota Vikings lifer, and he says, I'm going to win the fantasy league and make Ziggy wear a Packers jersey. Well, what's up with that?
Yeah, no, I stay out of it. I stay out of it.
Your dad won the league.
He's in the top 5.
He bumped ahead of me today. We've only got a couple of days left.
Wow.
It's gonna come right down to the wire.
How long is his tour? Like 2 months?
It's 23 days.
He said that, and he said he's really enjoyed going back and forth with you, though he has no idea what he's really talking about. But anyway, I am just upset that Jack is not going to, because Jack he roots for where his money is, which makes sense. I'm upset that he's not going to bet on Notre Dame.
Well, I also root for home teams. Like I like rooting for the home team,
but you're going to be sitting with Notre Dame people.
So you're just a baby. You root for the home team, and you root where you.
And we're going to beat Miami too.
I won't. Maybe I'll sit somewhere else and meet up with you guys after the game.
Come on. just buy in.
I'll sit with
you go to all these Notre Dame games. You've been to playoff games. You're ginger. Like you got the leprechaun look if you want it. You could be a great Notre Dame fan.
I'll sit with my cousin who's a Miami fan. That's all. And I'll meet up with you guys afterwards. We'll go out. We'll have fun.
All right.
We'll party.
All right. But if Notre Dame wins, can I get your commitment for the rest of the year? Any Notre Dame game you're at, you will bet on them.
Yes.
Because that means he roots for them.
Yes.
Okay. Done. We're winning that game, by the way. I'm telling you we're winning that game. So today's episode is going to be fun. Training camp is underway. A lot of the stories that we want to react to just haven't really happened yet. So we need to be a little bit.
Have.
Ziggy comes on. He's like, Matthew Golden's dominating. And you got this like cheeky grin on his face. I'm not sure if it's cheeky because he's actually happy about this or if because he's like, we can talk about the Packers.
I think he's happy.
He looked happy. He sounded happy. We log on, guys.
I want everyone in the NFL to succeed. Matthew Golden was nice. He gave us an interview. I want the best for him.
Ziggy's like, Josh Jacobs is doing great. Golden looks great.
Josh Jacobs did just straight up moss Isaiah Simmons, and Isaiah Simmons was rolling around on the floor in disbelief.
I went to set up a camera as Ziggy's going on and on about Matthew Golden, and I hear Josh Jacobs. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Like Ziggy is like beaming from these reports that the Packers are playing well in training camp. Of course, they're playing well. So we're going to have a fun day of going through a couple of the stories that are going on. The Lions camp has been underway, and that'll be our lead story. Things got a little testy there, but we're also going to talk about the expectations, the goals for Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson that have been set. Tua Tagovailoa with some very borderline concerning comments about Tyreek Hill. We'll dive into that a little bit more. Very funny Mike Brown, Shemar Stewart comments about the Bengals. And then we'll end up the show. We got a couple fun quotes from press conferences of head coaches and executives that I want to see if Jack and Ziggy can guess who they came from. It's an impossible task. They're never going to do it.
We'll be over whatever.
Yeah, they have no shot of actually doing it, but it would be pretty funny
you think now.
If they were to be able to pull it off.
True.
So, all right, let's start with the Detroit Lions and the intense practice that happened just a couple days ago. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be 2 days ago. But the Lions, on day 3 of their training camp, there were a lot of one-on-one drills. You saw wide receivers versus cornerbacks, gunners versus blockers in punt coverage. And they were doing a lot of 11s on 11s. And in the third session, Dan Campbell actually stopped the practice and said, like, this is too intense right now. Day 3 training camp, he said we gotta calm down a little bit here.
And that's Dan Campbell saying.
This is Dan Campbell saying this as well. So who knows
that's probably pretty
how
intense,
heated it was getting. Right after that, like 10 minutes after that, Maurice Norris, one of their cornerbacks, apparently got a little too aggressive in pursuit of the ball and actually wound up colliding with the receiver on the play. Campbell just shut down the drill and sent Norris to the locker rooms. Like, we're done. And apparently Terry and Arnold was trying to give him some advice as Norris was escorted off the field. But Campbell was allegedly like pissed. It wasn't just we're moving on. It's like, what the hell are we doing here? So I'm starting to see guys, and this, these stories happen at training camp all the time. It gets heated. It's hot outside. These are competitors. But you listen to David Montgomery say, this is the year of reckoning. And, practice on day 3, you have people getting thrown out. Like, there does seem to be a little bit of an angst in Detroit right now. And I'm wondering how much of it, like, do you guys think this is more of like a motivated team that's we got to get back there? Or do you think the pressure is also starting to set in a little bit that this isn't, your cute Lions that are on a playoff run? Like, there are real expectations now.
I think you're still pretty cute. I don't mind it. I understand because it's the third day, season's getting underway. You're going through the motions and just getting started. And again, a lot of these guys, the rookies, are new. I understand where Dan Campbell's coming from, and I would side with him only because of how early it is in the season. But I don't hate the competitive drive at all. Like, I do think that these teams who have aspirations of winning and doing great things are behaved more so like that than, all la-di-da. Like, I really do not hate it at all. That's just a competitive drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, it's not a big deal.
Like, I understand where we are in the season. It's July. It's the first week of training camp. Get your feet wet. So that's where Dan Campbell's coming from. I don't mind it though. I think it could be a good thing, believe it or not.
I do too. I know the popular take in the sports media world right now is to say the Lions are going to miss the playoffs and take every under you can. Several big figures in sports, including one who Paul's connected to, so I'm not going to say it, have been really low on the Lions. But
thank you for withholding. Thank you.
We're withholding. But I say this a lot on this show. I think the hardest thing to do in the NFL is to build a culture where people constantly want to compete, are constantly playing their best football, and want to go out there and do their best. And if you thought that losing some coordinators was going to take that sort of competitive spirit out of the Lions, that's gone. Now, I get that, like, whether you win by 1 point or 40, like the Lions did last season, doesn't matter a whole lot. But the Detroit Lions team, this is not a team in the regular season that you can surprise, that has trap games, that sort of takes games off. And that's the sort of thing that lets you win 14 or 15 games in a season. It's very hard to stay focused throughout an entire NFL season. And I'm confident that the Lions will be able to do that because day 3, if you're a rookie in that building, if you're a free agent, every single snap, whether it's good for us or not, we're going to compete our hardest. So I think if you're looking for reasons to be optimistic that the Lions are going to be close to as good as last year, the fact that they're still taking this very seriously, this whole season is a revenge season for the Lions. That's what it feels like. This does not feel to me like the pressure is getting to us. This feels like week 1 all the way to the Super Bowl. Every single game's personal.
I was trying to throw out that sneeze for a second.
It was a hefty sneeze.
Yeah, it was. What was I going to say? I totally lost what I was going to say.
I'll pick up it.
No, I got it. So do you remember in Rudy, when Rudy says to the big O lineman, he's like, treat me like, you're playing against Purdue.
Yeah.
Like I'm an all-time
Purdue
Big
sucks.
Ten defensive Purdue. These guys are all teammates, but in practice, in training camp, when you're on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage, like that is your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're covering that receiver, who was the corner?
Norris.
Like when he's covering the receiver, that's his opponent. Like he should treat him like he's a receiver for the Lions or for the Bears, the Commanders. Yeah. So that's where I defend him a little bit, in the sense that when you are at this level, when you're a professional football player and you have that drive and that competitive passion and that fire, when you're guarding somebody, regardless of, him being your teammate, on that day, everyone tries to make each other better, and that's your opponent.
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a video.
I haven't seen it.
If he tackled him or something, that's one thing. That's not what it sounds like.
Campbell's let fights happen before. I assume this was personal.
I don't know. I imagine that it was
fights also happen all the time.
I just my guess is that he just hit him. Like he came in a little too hot, hit him. Campbell's like, I just told you guys to cool off. Like,
I didn't see it.
So
I didn't see it.
We don't know the video, but I personally, if I were a Lions fan, like I'm pretty pumped up for everything I'm hearing. I want my team this year to take everything personally. And it sounds like, the last 2 years, Detroit's had heartbreak. We always talk about the Lions and the Browns, the Jaguars, the mind-numbing sucking, like the Jets, and how that's the worst it can possibly be. I've turned from the Vikings and Bills heartbreak being the worst to actually, no, it's when you just suck year in and year out. And the Lions have crossed over to the heartbreak side of things. Like they've had 2 really, really difficult playoff runs the last 2 years, to the way it ended after a 15-win season and after having the 17-3 lead, 17-0 in the NFC Championship.
Outrageous.
So like they've had some tough times here.
41-24.
I want my team to come out. I love this is the year of reckoning. I mean, that's an insane line from David Montgomery. Like that's an awesome
David Montgomery
line.
Watches anime, so he's got those lines ready to go.
Yeah, he's definitely watching like One Piece or something. This is the year of reckoning.
If I'm a Lions fan, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
like
but
I'm
I
full
do
blown
think
excited.
too, though. I do think that there is absolutely pressure this year. There was pressure last year, but just the way last season ended, I mean, it is mounting with every game now. And there is, like, we can talk about the schedule as much as we want, but when you're the hunter, and the Lions are the hunter, I know that people are going after them, but they're still the best team in almost every game they're going to play. If you're the better team, you look at the Ravens when they go to Baltimore, and they're gonna be like, we're gonna go in there and kick the shit out of Derrick Henry. Like that's the Lions mindset. So it's easy to sit back and go, all right, how are they going to beat the Bengals and the Ravens and the Eagles on the road? And the Lions are just like, because we're better. And that's the mindset it seems that they've had for a long time now with Dan Campbell. After turning that corner, starting with the win in Green Bay in 2022, I believe it was. So I'd be really pumped up because I do think there's pressure, but I think this Lions team is ready for it, and they have the right guys in the building. I'm not even that concerned. Like I know that we talked a lot about the coordinators. The dudes who are on the field are the right guys. So speaking of, having the right coaches and players who need to take leaps and then be ready to go, Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, they're getting underway, and Ben Johnson has established his main goal for Caleb Williams for the 2025 NFL season. Any guesses? I mean, you guys have seen the rundown. Any guesses what his goal might be?
Don't throw an interception on the first play of training camp.
Did he do that?
Didn't get that one.
Did he actually do that?
Did.
Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds picked him off.
Oh man, Ziggy's been really plugged into all the training camp news today, so he's been giving us little updates.
I'm gonna guess it was to complete like 68% of your passes.
Jack, that's a fantastic guess.
Like
Ben Johnson said, I told him I'd love from this season.
Hold on, I gotta guess.
Yep.
69% of the passes.
Ziggy, you're right there. Ben Johnson.
Wait, 71.
You guys are right on the mark. 70 was the number we were looking for. I told him I would love for him this. I would love for him this season to complete 70% of his balls. So you would like to think that over the course of practice, we're completing 70% or more, or that's hard to just magically arise in a game. It's a lofty goal, but it's one we're going to strive for because of that, we're going to use that as a benchmark and work from there. So it sounds like, the start was less than ideal for Caleb at training camp.
Yeah, I mean, a few plays later in 7-on-7s, Caleb couldn't get everyone lined up. So Ben Johnson points at him and says, "You're out."
Are you serious? Wait, Ziggy, you have some faulty sources, though. I mean, Ziggy goes.
This is well known.
I mean, he also he stinks. Like he's not good.
Wait, so in training camp so far, through a few hours, pick on first play, thrown out by Ben Johnson at the line of scrimmage.
Not thrown out at practice.
No,
Ben
thrown
Johnson
out the
says
play.
"You're out" and takes him out. Yeah,
interesting. Okay, so well, you know what? Look,
I'll be serious for a second.
Please, we'd love that.
That is not the goal I would set for Caleb Williams, actually. Like, I get completing 70% of your passes is nice, but something that does not count as an incompletion, but is much worse than an incompletion, something Caleb Williams had 68 of last year, sacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number one problem wasn't Caleb's completion rate. I mean, incompletions generally in the NFL are not that bad. It's the fact that 68 times he took a sack, and a sack more often than not just ends the whole drive. I'm not going to sit here and say I know better than Ben Johnson. I know that's something they're working on. But if I had a number one goal for Caleb Williams, it wouldn't be the 4,000 yards Caleb's talking about. It wouldn't be completing 70% of your passes. It'd be staying upright.
I think that's a more realistic goal. If we were to break down like what's realistic and what's the and what can be a little bit. I mean, Ben Johnson even acknowledged. He said that's a lofty expectation, the 70%, because only 5 guys did it last year, guys. It was Jared Goff, who actually had Ben Johnson. So that does bode well with the offense Ben Johnson has. Taking more checkdowns. Tua, Baker, Joe Burrow, and Geno. Those were the guys over 70% last year. Yeah, Geno surprised me. I mean, Geno is better than people give him credit for. And in 2023, the only guy who broke 70% was Jake Browning when he filled in for Joe Burrow after the injury in Cincinnati. So, we're talking about something that only 6 quarterbacks have done over the past 2 years. No first or second year quarterback has hit that mark over the past 2 years. So it is a lofty goal. And especially when you're stripping down Caleb to the level where he's working on his footwork. He said he's working on short throws to his left that he missed at OTAs, like cadence. They're making it really simple. I am a little worried that maybe the expectation's a little high coming into the year, but this is another situation where as the season goes on, it's kind of the same goal as his rookie year, where you just want to see him growing with Ben Johnson in year one, and you saw that at the end of last season. So. I think it's okay to have a lofty goal, but in the back of your mind, that's 70% completion. Pretty awesome.
What's that saying? It's shoot for the stars, aim for the moon, or something like that, right?
Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you end up among the stars.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. So I think a legitimate goal could be like maybe 60%. But if you have a number in mind and you strive to get to that number and come up a bit short, it is what it is. I mean, having expectations and goals is kind of how you can achieve them.
I'm with you, though.
It better be higher than 60%. He beat that last year.
Well, last year he was 62.5%, which was 31st out of 36 qualified quarterbacks.
So why not get to 66%? And then 70, you're shooting for the moon. Aim for the stars.
Because, dude, you shoot for the moon. You miss, you fall on the stars. Yeah. Jack goes straight to the moon. Jack doesn't. The moon.
Jack's
not concerned with stars.
Also, too, with this guy's play style, Ben Johnson has his work cut out for him. And with the goal like this, there is also a lot of pressure on that offensive line, too, to keep him upright.
But a lot of it also it's kind of what you said, right? How you always talk about him scrambling and pretending like he's back at USC or Oklahoma.
Yeah, playing against Arizona.
Yeah. And Caleb's kind of acknowledged that, though. He said, I don't always need to hit the home run play. I don't need to hit the home run scramble. A lot of this is, even if I'm just taking a 5-yard check down, take what the defense is giving me, move the change, don't take the... remember against the Vikings?
That's how you adjust to
they went to overtime. They had the crazy comeback against Minnesota in Chicago. And then I believe they stopped us, got the ball back. I was like, oh shit, we're about to lose to the Bears. And then Caleb took a 15-yard sack on the first play. And then that basically ended the game because we got the ball back and hit a field goal.
His style of play has to change.
So yeah, like he's got all the
any
talent
chance
in the
at
world.
70%.
But you've also called it out from the very beginning, Jack. You're like he needs to change his mentality that he has, and that seems to be. So maybe you could have just walked into Chicago like Ben Johnson, Ben Caleb.
I don't know how everybody else didn't see this.
You see things different.
Like you're playing against Fresno State. Of course, Addison's wide open here by 40 yards. He's going to hit him. Like NFL's different.
So, but with the mentality shift, though, I mean, everyone knows he's got the arm for it. If the Bears do play smarter football, like that's the world where, yeah, when I said the other day they're not going to win more than 6 games next year, that's when someone can look me in the face and say you're an idiot. Because if Caleb puts it together, this is a very good team. So I like the Bears being aggressive with their goals, and I think they're handling all this the right way. It'll be week 1. Vikings Bears. That will be a lot of fun.
Oh God.
I said this Monday Night Football week 1. That's a really fun Monday night game, no?
It should be Steelers Jets week 1.
No. Wouldn't you rather see McCarthy versus Caleb than
Rodgers versus Fields?
Oh God, look what we're talking about here. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals situation with Shemar Stewart here. So everyone knows that Shemar Stewart still hasn't signed his contract. It's been an ugly situation there in Cincinnati. And Mike Brown, the owner of the Bengals, he's about to be 90 years old. But they were asking about the situation, and he said his agent wants it to be so that if he acted in a terrible fashion, this is all hypothetical, of course, something arises to the level of him going to prison, that we would be on the line for the guarantees for the future years that haven't been paid. And our position is no. If that happens, we're not going to be. We're not going to be paying someone who's sitting in jail. That's not what we're going to do. So
it's not wrong.
It's a little forward, I think, in terms. Yeah, it's a very blunt. It's saying this to the media where no one thinks Shemar Stewart's going to jail. Shemar Stewart doesn't think so. His agent doesn't think so. Mike Brown and the Bengals don't think so. It's just when you say to everyone, we're not going to be paying someone who's sitting in jail, which becomes the headliner for the article, it makes it sound like the Bengals think Shemar Stewart is going to go to prison.
This reminds me like that Marshawn Lynch case a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
There's like a 1% chance
he like crashed into a lawn or something like that. And people,
yeah,
that's how I pulled off the greatest fantasy trade of all time.
Our buddy Mike traded him in fantasy. Oh, hey, can you might go to jail, man?
I was 13 years old, Ziggy, and I called up our buddy Mike, who used to be on the show, and I'm like, Mike, I got Toby Gerhart sitting here, and he's gonna have a big year in Jacksonville.
Bishop Sankey's a rookie in Tennessee. I'm willing to package both of them for Marshawn Lynch, and Lynch is probably going to prison anyway. Mike's like, what? I just send him a couple articles. It's like Lynch could see prison time for his going on someone's lawn. That's what that reminds me of.
And Mike's like, you know what? I'm gonna pull the trigger, Paul. I hung up, called Jack, and I was like, league's over. I think I won. I dominated that year. That was horrible. I stopped doing that to my friends. That was bad.
You say your friends. You mean Michael? Like
I guess I mean Mike.
I think I screwed you once with Bell and Brown.
I guess I do mean Mike. But anyway, back to the Bengals. The whole situation here is that Shemar Stewart and his team, they do not want language being put into his rookie contract that says if he were to do, it's like conduct detrimental to the team. I'm not sure what that constitutes of, but then the Bengals would no longer have to fully guarantee his contract. That's never happened before in contracts for the Bengals. For the Bengals, yes. A lot of teams have now added that clause, but the Bengals haven't done it.
Teams that add that clause usually add more guaranteed money up front in terms of signing bonuses. So guys will sign it. The Bengals hate doing that.
So Shemar Stewart is looking at the situation in front of him and he's saying, why am I the guinea pig? Like, I want what everyone else has gotten. I want my money guaranteed. And the Bengals won't budge on it. Now, the Bengals seemingly hold the power here, but I mean, I guess if Shemar Stewart, he's been working out with Texas A&M, and you're going to see stories of Shemar Stewart
at Texas A&M.
At Texas A&M, yeah, you're going to see reports of like, oh, is he going back to college? And that's not happening. Mike Elko, the head coach at A&M, came out and he's like, he's a Bengal, guys. So that's not. He's not going to be back at A&M, which actually I'm actually happy about because week 2 or week 3 they come to Notre Dame. I was like, I don't want to see Shemar Stewart. That's
he'd get a quarter of a sack.
Look, I'd rather not see him than even if he did get a quarter of a sack. But again, the whole situation now, it's gotten so rocky that you got to think it's like this has to be settled soon. No, you want him. Everyone wants him on the field.
I don't even think it was possible to get drafted then go back to college.
I didn't think
It's currently not under NCAA rules, but the thought is maybe you can challenge it because everything seems challengeable these days.
Jeez.
Do you think that this ends soon, Ziggy?
Hmm?
Do you think this will end soon?
It has to. I mean, Shemar Stewart, by the time August rolls around, he has got to sign this thing. And like it or not, going back to college is not an option. Not only do you lose a year going to delaying your second contract, which is where the money is, but what team wants to draft Shemar Stewart after this? He'd probably go late day 2, maybe even day 3, because you don't know what you're getting. It's weird that the Bengals are here, right? Because they've got the situation going on with him, the situation going on with Trey Hendrickson, and it seems like they're just being incredibly stubborn. Especially this, unlike the Hendrickson thing, they could resolve this on the Bengals side this afternoon.
Wait, would you budge if you were Cincinnati? If they want to have this clause in contracts moving forward, and if they give way to Shemar Stewart, then what's to stop the next guy from saying hey, screw you guys?
If I'm Cincinnati, I'm not budging. I'm just saying it's unfortunate that they're in both these situations at the same time.
Okay. I just want to make sure you weren't saying that you would.
As a franchise, you have the right to be a jerk and alienate the player you just drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, if you're Shemar Stewart, the Bengals control you for 7 or 8 years with franchise tags. Unfortunately, you just have to shut up and take it. I mean, it sucks. That is the current collective bargaining agreement in the NFL. It's not like the NBA where all the terms are worked out. You're not going to see Cooper Flagg holding out this offseason, right? There's a 0% chance that happens. It's just weird it's gotten to this point. I mean, there's only 2 rookies that have not signed their rookie contracts up until this point. Shemar Stewart and Judkins. And Judkins with the Brown is a totally different situation. So I don't understand why this hasn't gotten done yet.
Because no one's budging.
What if
that's why?
What if he went back to A&M and just sucked and then get drafted again?
Can you imagine if he went back to A&M and he just gets like Ziggy said, he falls the 4th round and the Bengals are sitting there in the 4th round. They're like, yeah, sure, we really like this guy.
Well, yeah, why not?
We took him in the first or year before.
What a steal.
Shemar Stewart gets picked. He's like, you got to be kidding me.
Goes back to A&M.
Yeah. Zach Taylor come out and he's like, we had an opportunity. We just couldn't pass up.
Yeah.
And, we've now drafted him twice. It has to end soon.
He'll destroy, what's the running back from Notre Dame? What's his name?
Jeremiah Love.
Oh, yeah, Stewart would destroy him next year. Stewart would destroy him next year. You don't want to see that.
Dude, I've been telling people for a year and a half now, Jeremiah Love's the best player in the country. This year, it might just be a Heisman year. It might just be. Heisman returns.
It's not a Heisman year. They're going to have to invent a new trophy for him. He's going to be so good.
But yeah, if I'm the Bengals, I'm not. You can't budge on it once you made this stance. You can't do it because what's to stop future guys from doing it? And
it's insane that you let it get here. If you're the Bengals, it's become this huge.
But I mean, what would you have done? What would you just given him more money?
You can give him a larger signing bonus. You can realize it's pretty unlikely that our 1st round pick is going to go to prison.
That means you then give in to what he wants.
Yeah, but doing that is much less bad before it's a gigantic national story, right? At this point, they don't want to lose face publicly.
Yeah.
But if it was a private negotiation for a long time, right?
Yep.
They could have asked for something in return. There's a lot they could have done. It's just embarrassing if you're a Bengals fan that your front office let it get to this point where it's July 24th, right? It's the end. Training camp is underway. And you can't get your 1st round pick to play because your front office mishandled this situation so badly.
Yeah, and they need defense.
We got a football game in a week.
Yeah, we do.
A week from today.
Wait, who's on in the
Lions versus
Chargers?
Chargers, yeah. A week from today.
That would actually be a fun opener to the season.
Is that the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah. That's Hall of Fame game.
It's pretty early.
The Bengals play August 7th. It's not long from now.
No, and you got to get him back on the field.
You're going to Philadelphia. You need Shemar Stewart in Philadelphia, man.
So if we're gonna go back in time, after the Dolphins lost to the Jets in Week 18, this wasn't just an all-time quote. Tyreek Hill was speaking to the media, and he says, "This is my first time I haven't been in the playoffs, man. So I just got to do what's best for me and my family. If that's here or wherever the case may be, I'm finna open the door for myself. I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career because I'm too much of a competitor to be just out there." So
well, let's translate that. I'm better than you guys. You guys suck. I'm not coming back to this crappy organization ever again.
I mean, pretty much. When he came from Kansas City to go to Miami, I can't blame him.
And obviously that doesn't sit well with the Dolphins. There was the whole trade speculations around Tyreek. Go ahead, Jack. Were you saying something?
No.
So there's all these trade speculations around Tyreek, and it's understandable. You know, like if Ziggy came out tomorrow and just tweeted out like, you know what, guys, I like my takes are too good to be on a channel with less than 20,000 subscribers. Like, this is ridiculous. Every year, every time I look, I don't see myself on TikTok in these reels. It's Paul and Jack's face. I'm gonna go somewhere where they respect my ability a little bit more, where I could get some recognition.
I think you and I would just crack up laughing.
Well, we would.
Whereas the Dolphins are legitimately.
But can you see a world where, like, if Ziggy said like screw this, I'm out. Maybe a little stronger language. Then, 3 months later, after going out and maybe not having it work out, Ziggy's like, you know what, I'd like to come back. We might be a little bit like...
I tried to find a trade partner. Nobody wanted me. I was like, hey, I'm back here. You guys have to work with me.
Yeah, we might be like, okay, like, yeah, you got to earn back. Yeah, you got to earn back some of the trust. So Tua Tagovailoa was up in front of the media, and he was just talking about... I'm not going to get too into these quotes because it's a long one, but Tua was saying, you know, the team has been supportive of Tyreek, and he's doing a better job. You know, I'll just read it. He goes... as far as the team supporting Hill, he goes, we're still continuing to do that, but it's not just with me. It's with a lot of the guys. I'm not the only one that heard that. You guys aren't the only people that heard that. A lot of the people that follow football, that follow the Dolphins, that follow Tyreek, that are fans of his, everyone's seen that regarding the clip I just said. So when you say something like this, you don't just come back from that with, hey, my bad. You've got to work that relationship up. You've got to build everything up again. It's still a work in progress. Not just for me, but for everybody else. But like I said, he's working on himself. He's working on the thing that he says he wants to be better at and do better on. So that's the first step to me. So I commend him for doing that. Which I believe
that's
Ziggy
a crazy
translated
thing to see publicly.
Yes, it is. Ziggy translated that in our pre-show call into Tyreek's trying not to be an asshole this year. And is this something or nothing? Is this really just like, you know, another training camp story? Or in the back of your mind, are you saying like this could be a problem for the Dolphins?
I'd say
my biggest worry for this Dolphins team, they need this offense to click. And really, you know, you talk about organizations with difficult cultures that really got in the way last year. The ups and downs that the Dolphins have had for the past few years have really limited their ability to play consistent, successful football. So now when you've got one of the best players on the team losing trust of your quarterback and really showing that like Tyreek Hill can't be a leader on this team after this, right? After you come out and say stuff like that, like if Joe Burrow came out and said, I hate the Bengals, this organization sucks, I'm going to a team with a defense, I'm out. Like he couldn't come back in and be the leader of the team the next year, right?
Yeah.
So like Tyreek Hill, he can't be a leader despite being one of their best players. And the Tua Tyreek connection, that's what that season where they almost got the 1 seed, even though it fell short, that season was built on Tua to Tyreek. You need this connection, this chemistry to be one of the best in the NFL. So I'm not going to sit here and say because Tua said this quote publicly, like the season's over. But if it's coming out to the media day one of training camp, that's something on Tua's mind. It's something he's thinking about. And this will materially affect the team this season. And if Tyreek screws up again, it could be a really big problem.
I think that it definitely is worthy of, and it should rub the Dolphins a bit of the wrong way to hear one of your best players talk about your organization like that. Like, I mean, I wouldn't enjoy it. I do think it blows over, though. I mean, Tyreek Hill is somebody who has won a Super Bowl, who's played with the best quarterback of all time, who came to the Dolphins and then lost in the playoffs to his old team. Last year, missed the playoffs. I think that he was wrong, but it's just frustration. Mm-hmm. Like, Tyreek Hill wants to win. All these guys do. And when the Dolphins have been a team with expectations for a little bit and just nothing has happened, I don't think Tyreek Hill means anything personally. I just believe that it was just out of frustration of not succeeding. I
think it was out of frustration, but I also do think that when you say something like that, internally it sounded like something that it had internally been fostering in Tyreek Hill of like, I'm Tyreek Hill and I'm playing with this team that can't get to the playoffs.
Tyreek never wanted to leave Kansas City. He said publicly that trade request was just because he wanted the Chiefs to pay him more money. This is what worries me is like Tyreek Hill, he is not a guy who I trust to fall in line and be mature and responsible for the rest of the season after this. I think what this tells me is at some point during this year, it's going to blow up.
Well, I agree with you, but there's one cure. There's one cure to this, and it's winning. Like that's the saying. Winning cures all. If the Dolphins come out, and I think the start of their schedule, let me just...
Tyreek and Tua go behind.
Their schedule, host the Patriots at Buffalo. Or sorry, they start at the Colts, then they host the Patriots at Buffalo, host the Jets at the Panthers.
Then it's Chargers, Browns, Falcons. That's like your October schedule, essentially, before it picks up a little bit after that. But there is a world there, looking at that schedule, you know, Colts, Patriots, Jets, Panthers, Browns, Falcons, you can be 6-3.
There's also 6-3 going into the Jets game.
Yes.
And then that's a disaster.
No, and that's it. That's your two worlds. If the Dolphins get off to one of these like 5-2 starts and they have a chance to actually, you know, make a run here, I can see a world where the Dolphins could be a playoff team this season. But if they get off to a tough start with that schedule, it's going to get really ugly. And you have got, you know, Tyreek Hill is an emotional guy. Like that situation with him, that situation with the team, Tua's going to, I mean, there are going to be more questions about Tua. It might be the end of Tua in Miami, honestly, if they have a bad year. I mean, it has potential to come off the rails.
There was massive pressure on Tua, like from the start of his career, especially after getting Tyreek Hill as well. I mean, like Tyreek Hill has an ego, and a lot of these guys do, but he's probably a Hall of Fame receiver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, one of the best to ever do it, a Super Bowl winner. He was part of a dynasty with one of the best quarterbacks ever. And now there was a whole lot of weight on the shoulders of Tua, and it's nothing personal. I believe whatever team he went to next, if they weren't like Kansas City, he's making these same remarks. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it's anything against the Miami Dolphins or anything personal. I think
it is to a degree personal. Though.
I don't think it feels that way if you're the quarterback. Yeah, of the Miami Dolphins.
Like you know what I mean.
Well, I know it would. I get what you're saying too. It rubs me the wrong way too. Like it really would, but I don't believe that Tyreek Hill
had like a vendetta against Tua.
Like had as much ill will as you think against one person.
No, but I would like to see Tyreek Hill coming off the worst season of his career say something other than everyone around me sucks and I want to leave.
Yeah, I mean that's just not how he
privately. Yeah. I mean, here's something you could say. You know, I had half the yards and half the touchdowns that I had since the last season. I know I was hurt a little bit, but I was still able to play a bunch of games. Like he played 17 games last year despite the injuries and still had half the production he had in 2020.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the ideal. That's never going to be Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, like it's not just everyone else.
Maybe it just sucks.
Maybe just falling off. So that's why guys like Saquon and Jefferson, these superstars who are so well spoken and are always placing the blame on themselves when things don't go well. Like it's great to have those dudes. I mean, it really does make the situation. The Vikings were in this situation with Justin Jefferson and his contract extension. Never got ugly. Jefferson's not tweeting things out. Saquon was coming out and
Saquon has so many bad things he could have said. And so he said, I feel a little disrespect.
Saquon said, I want to be a Giant for life.
If their first play in Indy is a play action bomb to Hill for a touchdown, it's all cured.
Yeah, I mean, every Dolphin fan is going to be like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And exactly. What's sad for the Dolphins and their fans is that 2 years ago, they were 8-3 and they could have been the 1 seed. Like, yeah. I wonder in that alt reality where they hold on, didn't they lose to the Titans, right? They had the horrible blown game against Tennessee.
Home of the Titans.
I don't know if did that game screw them out of the 1 seed or did they need to win 2 more? I can't remember what it was, but if the Dolphins wind up with the 1 seed that year, I still think they probably don't win the Super Bowl. I don't think they go to the Super Bowl. You still have to pick the Chiefs. But
you have to play in the winner in Kansas City.
Playing in Miami. And and the injuries, that's what it was. Like everyone got hurt on defense. If things go differently down the stretch there, you just wonder what's happening in Miami right now. Because that was such a catastrophic end. to get shut out essentially in 0-degree weather, and they are a warm weather team, like they are. That just a couple games there, a couple key moments. The twist of fate would have been fun to go down and see that how that would have played out. Okay, so we got a couple more things here. The top 100 players, the quarterbacks were continued to be revealed in the 70 through 61 player rankings. There's still a couple more to go on that list, but so far we've had 4 quarterbacks. 91 was Tua, 79 was Dak Prescott, 72 was Sam Darnold, and coming in at 68, 34 spots lower than he was last year, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
I don't know how he loves ahead of Darnold.
You know, really?
I have no idea
how is Love ahead of Sam Darnold? Darnold had like an MVP season and beat Love twice. That makes no sense.
Sam Darnold's also a bum.
Well, all right, Ziggy, let's be kind to Sam.
Sam Darnold is a very solid player, but Jordan Love has shown so much more than Sam Darnold over the course of his career.
I mean, last year.
I know that the NFL 100 isn't supposed to be a career retrospective, but that's different than putting Aaron Rodgers in the top 10 because he's an all-time great.
I mean, this isn't the argument that I'm making here, but I do just want to say, ask you, Jordan Love had an electrifying 10 games where he was as good as anyone's ever played quarterback. But Sam Darnold, put together a really strong year last year.
Darnold won 15 games.
Like we are a lot of times when we talk about Jordan Love, we're judging those 10 games because that is true. As our good buddy Tom Monroe said, those 10 games have been looked at a lot closer for people who value Jordan Love than the rest of his career, which has been good, but not nearly that. So Sam Darnold goes 14-3 last year, goes for over 30 touchdowns. And Jordan Love, yes, he's injured, but doesn't have a great season. I mean, that we can't just say Jordan Love is in a different stratosphere. Right? Am I crazy?
You thought Darnold was better last year.
I'd rather have Jordan Love because I do think that he can get back to that level.
That was it was the 2024 top 100, right?
No, top 100 players of the 2025 to go in.
Going into this year. Okay,
voted on by the players.
Yeah, we're not. It's not ranking performances last year.
But I still don't see how. I think I'd still put Darnold ahead of Love after last season.
I get it being close because of the way their seasons played out. But I do think that if you're Jordan Love right now, so he's going to be. I'm just looking at the situation in front of him. You're going to have these quarterbacks ahead of him for sure, right? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts. That's 5. Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Stafford, right? All 10 of those guys?
Lamar will make it.
Yeah. All 10 of those guys we assume will be ahead. Do you disagree on any of those? Stafford, Herbert?
They'll all be ahead.
What about Stroud? Stroud will probably be ahead of him, right?
I think I could see that going either way.
I mean, Stroud, yeah.
So let's say 10 right now. Then you have Stroud. Tell me yes or no. What do you guys think? Stroud, will he be ahead?
Divisional round last year.
I think Stroud will be ahead of him. I think that's 11.
Stroud will be ahead of him.
Bo Nix.
Well, I guess we know that Stroud will be ahead of him.
Did it come out?
Unless Stroud's out of the top 100.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to.
There's no way Tua and Sam Darnold made it and Stroud didn't.
Yeah.
I think Bo Nix will be ahead of him. I think Bo makes it 12. Purdy?
No.
I have no idea.
Purdy was like 29 last year, right? Or something like that. 28.
Yeah, but these rankings are very reactive.
So let's say Purdy no, Geno Smith no, Kyler Murray no?
No.
So that would put Jordan Love there about the 13th best quarterback in football. And
I'm not sure I buy Bo Nix being ahead of him, but fair enough.
I think Bo's going to be. Do you think Bo will be in the top 100? That's the question.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's say 12 or 13, right?
Yeah.
Which is the same ranking that the coaches, executives, and scouts gave him on the ESPN polls, the top 10s that just came out, roughly 12, 13. So to me, if you're Jordan Love, I think that all the sparks are there for the fire to be lit. Like, you're being paid like a superstar. The league does not view you as a superstar, clearly. You might have that superstar pedigree because of your contract, but clearly the guys are not. If you're not a top 10 quarterback, you're not a superstar in their eyes. So I think that this is, again, for Packers fans who are, get excited, Jordan Love should be as motivated as ever.
I think this is the biggest season for Jordan Love yet is upcoming.
Oh,
in
definitely.
2025.
Definitely.
Hands
Especially
down.
being healthy, especially getting the first round receiver. You haven't won the division in 3 years in Green Bay. They're not used to that. Like Jordan Love,
Like this is
he,
it. Like
he
now,
should be fired up.
like now it's go time for him. Like
Yeah.
this is it. There's no excuse.
If I'm Jordan Love, I'm making the Michael Jordan stories where he's just making up stories in his head. You don't have to make up stories. Guys are straight up saying we don't think you're all that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're being paid like a top 5 quarterback and we all rank you 12 or 13,
Not even top 10.
Yeah, not even top 10. I think that this is awesome if you're a Packer fan who's like, I want to see my guys come out motivated. The entire league, coaches, executives, scouts, players, all just told you we don't believe in you. So, Ziggy, as a pseudo Packer fan, you gotta be pumped up about this.
I'm really not excited to be on the receiving end of the Jordan Love revenge season. I mean, I think our position on this show for a long time has been that Jordan Love's had it. And last year, even though he was hurt, I think he still played better than a lot of people think. At the end of the day, though, I don't think this is a team that needs motivation because of where Jordan Love's being ranked. I think this is a team that is getting their motivation from the fact that they're the Green Bay Packers and they didn't win a playoff game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the year before that, they beat the Cowboys, which was nice, but then lost to the 49ers. Like, I think this is a team that there aren't a lot of teams in the NFL where the expectation really is championship every year. I mean, you could see it when they asked the Titans GM, like, do you think this is a roster that can win the Super Bowl this year? And he said, well, for everyone, winning the Super Bowl is a goal, but we got some work to do. No,
that was actually
the Super Bowl is actually a goal.
That was actually one of the quotes that I had for our press conference game.
That's tough.
Yeah, that game might just fall through because Ziggy's probably seen all the quotes at this point.
I mean, also too.
No, but I just mean, like, if you're the Packers, that really is your goal, and that will motivate them.
Like this being voted on also by the players, like the players around the league, like your peers, the guys who you play with, you play against, have you outside of the top 10 of your own position.
Oh, yeah. And you hear all the players always talk about it. Like that list means something to them.
It is one thing if you have all these analysts and whatnot, you turn on TV or ESPN and you read these articles and there are a bunch of guys who are in the media. But to have the players around the league who you're playing with every Sunday rank you outside the top 10, that would put a chip on my shoulder.
And the other thing too is like Jordan Love being hurt most of the year. Should he actually be in the top 100 players like that? Like you could debate whether or not he should be in the top 100 players, but
it's a forward-looking ranking. It's what's he going to be next year?
But if you like, really, you're looking at it. To me, if you're a quarterback, from where do I fall amongst the other quarterbacks? That's kind of, unless if you're Lamar or Mahomes and you're in that like top 10 world. I think
or
you're looking at where you fall.
You're right next to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I saw that too. They had Jalen Ramsey right ahead of him, who everyone's just been saying is washed.
Well, Ramsey's a beast.
Oh yeah,
I mean sorry, I forgot. Yeah, Jalen Ramsey's going to be the best corner in the
NFL.
NFL.
Ramsey's a beast.
But there's definitely. I mean, I'm just imagining us. Another comparison that I feel like we can make is if we were in, let's say that we got a massive deal from someone, and then the top 20 podcasts came out. If we're getting paid like a top 5 podcast, and other podcasters ranked us like 15th. We'd be like the 15th best podcast.
I'd be thrilled. I'm getting paid more money than I'm worth. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that for sure we'd probably look at the rank. Well, we wouldn't care, but there might be a degree of like, wow, like
I'd be like,
people,
we're being.
I'll tell you what I would do. I'd
like,
look at the guys above us and say, they're bum podcasters, they're bums. We're better than all these guys.
We're making more than they are.
Yeah, I guess there's. I guess Jordan Love can sit back and just go like, yeah, I got pretty good life here. Like,
yeah.
But no, there's definitely the competitor within you. You want to go prove people wrong. So I think that's a great thing for the Packers again. And then who cares about Travis Hunter? Because Bo Melton is the new cornerback wide receiver that everyone's going to be talking about. Brian Gutekunst said he's changed his number from 80 to 16, so he looks a little better on the field. And that Bo Melton, at least for the first 3 or 4 weeks, will be taking most of his snaps at cornerback. Like this, originally we thought this was just kind of let's see if he could, fill in a little bit in OTAs and whatnot. But it seems like the Bo Melton experiment might actually be more than just an experiment. They're trying to have him fully transition here.
Well, I went to packers.com/team/players-roster. Bo Melton is listed as a cornerback on the Packers official website.
I mean, you can't wear number 8.
He's no longer listed as a wide receiver.
Does that mean he must be okay then?
I don't know if he's. We'll see if he's okay, I guess. But at least as far as the Packers are, Do you think this is the Packers saying that like we're done using him as a receiver? If he's on this team, he's going to be a cornerback?
Yes.
I think that's true, but I also think he's regularly rotating in with the ones. This is a guy who, if you look at his athleticism, he has all the athletic ability to play cornerback, and cornerback and wide receiver. If you had to make positional switches, they're probably the two most similar positions in the NFL. But if you're giving him snaps of the one, this is not looking at Bo Melton as a gadget player or a guy who's like on the very, very roster fringe. They think they might actually have something here.
I mean, corners are pretty much just receivers who can't catch. So like he's athletic and like he has receiver experience.
And
so all
he's drop
like,
experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now all you got to do is just bat the ball down. Like,
I mean,
do what you're used to doing.
I mean, you do see like, to me at least, once you're in the NFL, I can't really recall too many times where I've seen guys really pull off the transition. I mean, in college, I used to produce the Inside the Garage podcast. Notre Dame had Cam Hart, who's now a starting cornerback for the Chargers. Cam was a receiver.
You can go receiver to corner.
No, I think you can. It's easy like that. If you're going to flip flop two positions, you can do it there. Especially when you're athletic. But again, cornerback, you're a little quicker. You're relying on some instincts. Like it is a different position. So if he could go out there, that'd be huge for them. I don't expect Bo Melton to be starting any games for the Packers. But I guess if you could provide if you could be Travis, like depth position, Travis Hunter, that is pretty reliable in regards to, like that receiving room, it's deep. But if a couple guys go down, like we saw last year, you need help, then Bo Melton steps in.
I also wonder how his tackling is.
Apparently that's decent from they said because of his punt coverage. He had 4 tackles last year. They said he looked like he could tackle. And he's an aggressive player. And if Nate Hobbs is struggling or goes down, like they have a pretty short leash receiving short leash. Their depth at cornerback is pretty low. So you have Valentine, you have Hobbs, and you have Nixon. And after that, like I don't know who you trust that much. If you have a couple guys go down and Bo Melton can be serviceable while people recover, like it would be extremely valuable. I just don't know if I fully am buying into. I'm not buying into it yet until I see it.
Those are two.
I mean, I don't like. Yeah,
those are two old presidents, right? Nixon and Hobbs.
I think you're thinking of Calvin and Hobbs.
No, Nixon was the president.
There was no U.S. president.
President Hobbs?
There was no Hobbs.
I think you're thinking of Calvin and Hobbs.
Are you thinking of Katie Hobbs, the governor of Arizona?
No, he is not thinking of Katie.
I thought there was a Hobbs.
Maybe you're thinking of David Hobbs. He was a deputy assistant for W.
Thinking of Taft? That's a shorter. Grover Cleveland?
Regardless of what Jack is thinking about, I will say this.
I think you're thinking of Calvin and Hobbs.
What is that?
The cartoon.
That's probably
the tiger. The stuffed animal.
That's
Calvin,
probably
the little boy.
So that's probably it. Yeah, Calvin and Hobbs.
So somehow Calvin and Hobbs made you think of president.
Well, I heard Nixon.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked to see Bo Melton take Carrington Valentine's job?
Yes, I would be shocked. But Bo Melton is a transitioned receiver to cornerback.
But Carrington Valentine is basically Bo Melton.
It's like a 5-star restaurant
without elite corner skills.
I would still be surprised.
If they're rotating Bo Melton in with the ones, which they're doing during training camp, the Packers think there's a chance.
But there's a big difference between, hey, we're trying to see what this guy has. Let's give him a couple reps with the ones versus let's actually put him on the field in an NFL game where Carrington Valentine has, experience playing as a cornerback in the National Football League. Like I would be really surprised.
Like a 5-star restaurant at the Carrington Valentine.
The Carrington Valentine. Yeah, that does sound.
Or res for 10 at the Carrington Valentine at 8 p.m.
I called the Carrington Valentine and we'll be showing up at 8.
Yeah. Or like a nice hotel. Yeah,
the Carrington,
the Carrington Valentine.
You're having a wedding at the Carrington Valentine.
Yeah, get yourself a cocktail.
Maybe Bo Melton is the weapon they need to shut down Justin Jefferson.
It's possible.
If I'm telling you, if at any point next year I see Justin Jefferson line up across from Bo Melton, I'm going to be frothing at the mouth.
Spam the X button.
Spam the X button. And then JJ McCarthy.
No, I'm not spamming the X button. I'm letting Justin Jefferson have a second because he'll be wide open 20 yards down.
True. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so we can don't scroll down anymore, Jack, on the thing because I have the game. I do want to play. We won't get into the quotes. What thing will be kind of lame, I think, but I do want to play you guys a couple.
Great way to open a segment, Paul. This is gonna suck.
Well, Ziggy, you already guessed the Titans one, and I'm assuming you're going to know the other two I'm talking about.
Let's play the game.
But no, I did want to play this for you guys. This was Tyreek Hill talking about Justin Jefferson. I just thought this was hysterical. So again, I'm sorry, guys. We're not a fully functional podcast where producer Zach's not here, so I can't show you the video too. But the audio is just really funny. Listen to this. If it plays, play.
My sons, they.
What the hell is this?
What are you doing, Paul?
I'm trying to play the. Oh, here we go.
My sons, they be on my head. They be like, Dad, Justin Jefferson, dog. My kids are like Justin Jefferson fanatics, so they really enjoy Justin Jefferson a lot. So, I was talking to my son on FaceTime last night. And his mom told me, she was like, one of the kids came up to him and was like, "Hey, you Tyreek Hill, son?" He was like, "Nah, Justin Jefferson, my dad." I'm like, so I got him on FaceTime. I'm like, so Justin Jefferson is your dad? He was like, "Nah, Dad." I was like, "Well, tell Justin Jefferson to take care of Disney World."
I thought that was so funny.
Was FaceTiming Jair Alexander?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I thought that was great. And then
Jefferson's earned dad status.
And then listen to this one too. I mean, there were a couple great quotes from I guess see if you could guess this one. I thought this was also phenomenal here.
You called the 5 weeks over the summer, and I think one of the most.
This is the question here.
Part of the off season. Just now the guys are back. I know there's 90 of them, but generally speaking, 91, excuse me, international halfway. How they do? How do you feel about how the guys came back?
I mean, whether you were in a coma when I answered Tom's question or typing on your phone or tweeting, I don't know, but I spent 5 minutes answering that question. And I could go back through it, but I'd rather not.
Can you guys guess who that was? I thought that was just hysterical.
I would have thought that was Bill Belichick.
Whether you were in a coma.
Sounds like Belichick.
The voice sounds familiar.
You've heard the voice before.
Yeah.
It's a head coach.
That's funny. Who would talk? Sean Payton.
He would say something like that, but it's not Sean Payton. Ziggy, you're close.
I'm close.
If you could put that together.
Oh, it's Vrabel.
Yes.
Yes. He's learned from Belichick, just like, unless they're asking you about long snappers, just be a jerk.
Which I do think, I mean, yeah, if I were up at the podium, I might, there's a more polite way of phrasing
100%.
that.
Yeah.
But, Mike Vrabel doesn't seem like the kind of guy to screw around too much, so. I love he's like, if you were in a coma or something over here.
Tweeting on your phone or...
The Patriots could use a little bit of that Belichick again, though. They got to get back in line.
They were great with that, yeah.
Yeah, they got to get back in line with this team. We'll see how he does. And then this is the last one. I thought this was another great quote. I think they say his name off the top, so we'll see. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go, right?
Having a sense of urgency when it comes to competing right away, just as a team here. What do you think would constitute success for you guys this season?
Oh, we got to win a ton. We're going to win a bunch of games. There ain't nothing. I can't even imagine anything. I've been winning 10 games a year for 20 years or something, I mean, what are my expectations? We're going to win a bunch. And I don't care, who hears that. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It ain't about what anybody hears. It's about what we do. And so that's why expectations are really high. The standards need to be so that the expectations can be met. We'll see what happens, I wish I could get.
There you go.
Kyle Shanahan.
He's been head coach for 20 years, he said.
He's winning 10 plus games every year.
For 20 years.
Oh, I missed the 20 years. Andy Reid.
He's a very recognizable voice. I feel like this guy's very doable.
Yeah, he does.
That's not Andy Reid. Andy Reid's way stronger than that.
You can reason out who this is. A guy who's won a bunch of games that was clearly just hired by a new team. Because he's talking about how he's going to change things there.
And he was coached for a long time.
Ziggy, I know Ziggy knows right now.
You could just reason this.
All right, wait, can Jack get there?
Coached for a long time, won 10 plus games several times. So one of the better ones.
New head coach, yep. For a team.
New head coach for a team.
Older guy, wins a lot, new head coach for a team.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Nice job.
Bang, bang, bang.
Good work there.
Great reasoning skills.
I thought those were great quotes across the board. And Vegas.
That's the most fun part about training camp.
Yeah, no, some of the press conference quotes. I also had the Titans one in there when they were like, "No, we're not good enough to win the Super Bowl." Like, that was awesome. But people are starting to buy into the Raiders. I mean, as you guys know, I produced Nick Wright's show, and Nick came on, and he loves Vegas. He thinks they're going to the playoffs. That was his like lock of the. Yeah, by the time I say this, it will be out. That was his like lock of the not lock, but his bet
of the season
for futures bet. Yeah, he put in a futures bet, and it was the Raiders to make the playoffs. And maybe I need to look a little bit more carefully at Vegas. I don't think
Nick Wright sounds like a fool.
No, I don't think.
It feels like that every year.
Nick's great.
This is the year they're going to put it together.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you can shrug and say, well, every year it sort of looks like they will, and it doesn't happen. And this
Gino's not bad.
Well, Nick's a big Chiefs fan too. So like, this is like me coming out and saying like I'm all in on the Bears. I mean, I don't want to do it. Like I don't like Chicago. Nick doesn't like the Raiders. Maybe I need to take another look because Nick's generally pretty good with this stuff. But yeah, I think I totally get that's the expectation for Vegas. But to me, it just seems like I don't know. I guess if Gino has a good year and you have Genty now. The defense should be better. Like, yeah, there's a world that could compete for a wild card.
Not better than Denver, Chargers, or Chiefs.
This team's not bums.
They need things to break right.
They're not bums. They're the worst team in the division.
Yeah, I agree. But they need things to break.
I'd feel a lot better if they had a wide receiver.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Do they have a single wide receiver on this roster?
They still have Jacoby Myers, right?
I'm not counting Jacoby Myers as a wide receiver.
They're
Michael Mayer.
He did have 1,000 yards last year, but that was all volume. I mean, then you've got like
it's Bowers. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, Bowers is their number one.
Yeah, but when was the last time a team that didn't have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback and had just a tight end as their only receiving threat did anything?
We say that again.
The Patriots.
The Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah. So you need if Geno Smith is an all-time Hall of Fame quarterback, they can get it done that way.
And the Steelers, Heath Miller.
Yeah, Antonio Gates was really good. I mean, Vincent Jackson was a beast, though, back then.
We also had Hines Ward.
Oh, yeah, you did that.
Yeah, no, this Raiders team is rough, but who knows?
They got Jack Beck, the TCU kid, second-round pick. Okay, so here's the game we'll play, and then we'll wrap up here.
All right, well, we got one more story to hit.
Do we? What's the story?
Matthew Golden having an incredible training camp.
Yeah, you
don't want to cover this because you don't want to admit it, but Matthew Golden looked incredible today. We're talking jumping toe tap catches. We're talking touchdowns from the quarterbacks. I know I shouldn't be excited about Matthew Golden because he plays for the enemy, but like go up and look at some of these clips. This guy's legit. I think he's going to be wide receiver by the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean our guy on the ground, Travis, who we're talking with him about possibly doing something in Green Bay this upcoming season. Travis is on the ground in Green Bay, and he sent me some pictures this morning of the facility saying, like, here we go. And he sent me a lot of pictures and videos of Matthew Golden one-handed catches and Brandon McManus booting 60-yard field goals. I mean, yeah, it is training camp, so it is all sunshine and rainbows. Matthew Golden is going to be...
He looks different.
He is the story. He's the story at Packer training.
I bet no one's playing defense, though, either.
Well, there is no one on those plays. But apparently, according to Ziggy, he's saying that he's lighting people up on 11 on 11.
There was a great 11 on 11 touchdown pass from Malik.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, Malik's their QB1.
Yeah, he's the guy. That's what you want to see. I've said this before on this show. Like, when a lot of times when you have these great receivers, they come out in training camp, and they'll just dominate. You can't compare him to Moss. This is what I said before, but I remember when Moss in his first practice, like the articles you read, people are like, holy crap, this guy's different. And not saying Matthew Golden's going to be one of the greatest receivers of all time, but I think that if he's going to be a stud receiver this year, you're going to see that he'll separate himself from the rest because their pack is not a difficult pack to stand out from, I would say. If you're like one of those dudes. Right? They got a lot of guys who are really good, probably a lot of number twos in the league. Maybe some guys who, and that's what works for them, is they have guys who can play at the one level for any game. But if Matthew Golden's going to be like one of the top 10 receivers in football, you'll probably start to see that. And I think you'll probably see it quickly. So it sounds like you're kind of getting a taste of that early. We'll see if it happens, but if Matthew Golden truly does become a stud, it's like that offense is going to be very, very difficult to stop.
And what I always say is in training camp, it doesn't get reported on much, but when there's no news about guys do sometimes just look terrible. To have Matthew Golden playing well, to have Isaiah Simmons playing well, to have Josh Jacobs playing well. I mean, the alternative is you can get, Josh Jacobs not out mossing guys. Isaiah Simmons looks terrible. Matthew Golden looks like a bust already.
Dropping the football.
That's your alternative. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will
if
always.
Matthew Golden dropped one football, that would be a national headline.
I will always take the positive story of my team over the negative.
Yeah.
We can overreact to it and people can come out and say it's just training camp. But yeah, you're right, Ziggy. The alternative is, people are going to react strongly one way or another.
On the first play.
Yeah. Do you want the story to be Caleb Williams came out through a 60-yard touchdown on the first play, or do you want it to be Caleb Williams came out through an interception? People are going to react strongly one way or the other. You'd rather have it be the touchdown. So I have no problem. If Matthew Golden comes out there and he's lighting it up and he looks faster than everyone, he's quicker, he's better hands. If I'm a Packer fan, I'm like, yeah, you should feed that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Feed that to me. All right, let's finish with a game here. So we do these lists, and I'm going to give you guys 3 strikes. I think that this is a list that you will... I don't think you will get it, but it is doable. It's 13 players, okay? So 3 more than normal, but I'm keeping it to 3 strikes. We talked a lot about Lamar and Joe Burrow's fantastic seasons recently. What I want to ask you, and use that to your advantage, what I just said, quarterbacks who have thrown for 40 or more touchdowns in a single season. There are 13 of them to ever happen. Can you tell me all 13 players with 3 strikes?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton, yes. Peyton has the record at 55. He also threw for 49 in 2004. And he threw for, he's done it twice.
Okay.
Well, I'm throwing out Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson.
Yep. Burrow and Lamar both did it last season.
So that's 3.
We know Aaron Rodgers did.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers did it. His most was 48 in 2020. He had 45 in 2011.
Brady?
And he had, I think Rodgers found there one more time. I think.
Yeah, Brady threw for over 50 in that 2007 season.
Brady
right?
had, yeah.
Brady had 50 in 2000. Yeah, Brady's on here 3 times. 50 in 2007.
Jeez.
43 with Tampa in 2021. And 43 with Tampa. I'm sorry, 40 with Tampa in 2020. So that's kind of amazing. When he came back to Tampa, he did it twice.
That's 5.
And I know Dan Marino's up there.
Dan Marino is there. He had 48, tied for 5th most ever in 1984.
6.
So wait, let's just revisit here. You guys have gotten Brady and Manning. Okay, that's your number 1 and 2. You got Dan Marino, who's tied for 5th. You got Aaron Rodgers, and you got Burrow and Lamar, who did it last season.
Sweet. There's
Baker
7.
Mayfield threw for 41 and 16 last year.
Baker Mayfield is on the list.
Oh, sick dog.
That's a good guess.
We've been talking about Baker because of that Bucks preview. I knew he threw for 41 touchdowns.
I'm on Ziggy's
It is
back.
41, right?
Yep, Baker threw for
You got me on your back.
41, yes. He's tied for the 13th most ever in a season.
You got 6 more. Did Big Ben ever do it? I don't think he did. Nah.
I trust you on this one, Jack. You know Ben better than me.
One of the guys is tied for 2nd most ever. There's 3 players ever with 50 touchdowns in a season.
Mahomes.
Drew Brees.
Brees and Mahomes are both on the list.
Okay.
Mahomes threw for 50 in that first year he had in 2018. And Brees did it once over 40 in 2011.
I think Ben's like top 7 all time.
Brees did it twice, I'm sorry. Brees did it in 2011.
Yeah, Ben played for so long.
Yeah, he did.
If you like Ben, I'm fine guessing Ben.
I don't know if Ben threw for over 40 in a season.
We've got 3 strikes. Let's guess Ben.
All right, Big Ben.
Not on the list. Ben Roethlisberger.
I wonder what his most in a season was.
I was Googling that right here. Ben Roethlisberger went for 34 in 2018.
That's not even close.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ben only had 4 seasons over 30.
So we got...
Which kind of
Kurt
makes
Warner
sense.
ever did it, Jack? Like greatest show on turf.
Ooh,
They threw for so many. Like those, Torrey Holt was putting up like 15 or 16 touchdowns.
you'd know better than I would on that. I'm down to go for it, though.
I'll go Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner is on the list.
Good
He's
call.
with 41,
Good call.
tied for 13th with a slew of
Okay.
players.
So how many are left?
You
What do
have
we got?
3 players left. was actually kind of amazing.
Elway?
We just heard Ben Roethlisberger's most ever was 34. Sam Darnold threw for 35 last year. Like Sam had just a great year.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
year.
the same. I guess Ben Roethlisberger, they used a lot of running backs in goal line situations.
So let me give you guys, I'll tell you guys this. I'm not going to tell you any of the players, but of the players you have left, none of them are in the top 10. None of them had a top 10 season in terms of most touchdowns ever. They're all in that like 13.
These are going to be hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think back to guys it could be. Oh, did Brett Favre ever have 40?
Bart Starr?
No. I'm thinking about Brett Favre here. I'm thinking like that 96 Packers season.
I don't hate that.
Let's guess Brett Favre.
39.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that
39 in 1996. 38 in 1995.
Okay, so this is so close.
I'm pretty sure Favre also in 2009 with the Vikings had.
I know Allen hasn't done it. I'm trying to think. Okay, Paul, question. I'm going to ask you a question.
Did Matt Ryan do it?
No. Is there a current player on this list?
Here's what I will tell you. There is one current player on the list, and all of the guys who have done it.
There's only one current player left?
There's two current players.
Oh.
Okay. So there's two current, one not current.
And all of these seasons have come 2011 or on.
We can get
2011 or on. So someone did it in 2011.
We can get this. Two current players.
One of the guys did it twice.
Did Stafford ever throw for 40 with Detroit? Because I think like the 2011 Detroit season, didn't he go nuts?
I'm down for that.
Stafford did it twice in 2011 and 2021 with the Rams in his first year. So you got Stafford. Now you have one more current player and one more player who's no longer playing, but has done it recently, somewhat recently.
I'm thinking here.
It's doable. It's very, very doable.
Who's thrown for a bunch of touchdowns?
I'm going division by division.
I know. 2020 Russ. He threw for 41.
Really? Okay, Russell Wilson.
2020 Russell Wilson threw for 40 touchdowns.
Oh, it wasn't 41 because he went crazy that year, and then that's like right when he got traded.
That's when he got the big deal.
Russ.
Yeah, like they signed that gigantic extension because he had a crazy number.
So you got one more.
One more to go.
This one's not in the NFL.
He just retired recently.
He's somewhat recently retired. Yeah.
Okay, so we've done Brady, we've done Breeze, we've done Phillip Rivers is not a bad guess. Maybe could it have been Matt Ryan? I know I said no. I think in that MVP season he was just under 40 though.
Yeah, he went nuts that one year.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to when I've seen like lists because whenever guys break 40, like bring out the lists on social media. I don't feel like I've seen Matt Ryan up there.
Could it have been Rivers?
I don't hate Rivers, but it'd be after 2011. So what season would Rivers have done it?
That's true. Because
Rivers' big seasons were like in like the mid 2000s, right?
Eli Manning, he never did it, right?
No, there's no.
Rivers had a couple big years post 2011. I will say.
I wouldn't tell us that if it was Phillip Rivers, so it's not Phillip Rivers.
I don't hate Matt Ryan.
He hasn't said anything about Matt Ryan. I'm just trying to think if there's anyone else it could be.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's not Jameis. No, Jameis is still in the NFL.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. He played in like 40 teams. He didn't have one amazing season.
I don't think so. Then he wouldn't have played for 40 teams. I'm going to go Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Maybe give it another minute of thought.
Phillip Rivers.
Okay. No, it's not. He would not tell us Phillip Rivers had a bunch of big seasons if it was Phillip Rivers. I know, Paul.
Maybe give it a little bit more thought. There is someone here that
who retired
you have not mentioned yet.
Oh, the captain, Andrew Luck. Could it be him? I'm trying to think because he had some crazy seasons with the Colts.
Would it be Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck, it feels like a weird pull.
That would be a great pull if it is.
I'm trying to think here. Paul, it's if it's not Rivers and it's not Ryan, who else could it be?
Recently retired.
Like Andrew Luck had some crazy seasons of the Colts.
Andrew Luck, the year before he retired in 2018, had 39 touchdowns.
All right, it's Andrew Luck. Paul wouldn't tell us that unless Andrew Luck had 40.
And in 2014, he had 40.
Wow. Good one.
There's your last player, Andrew Luck. 40 touchdowns in 2014.
I would not have. It took me a while to pull Andrew Luck.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that the year he retired, he was coming off comeback player of the year.
No, Andrew Luck
was
insane.
Jeez.
That year. I mean, I thought the Colts were going to be Super Bowl contenders, and then he just quit.
I remember our friend Tommy Cassius, big Colts fan. We were all just hanging out in the lounge back at college because that was 2018. So that was our going into our sophomore year. And news just breaks out and it's like Andrew Luck retired. He's like, what? What?
Yeah, that was absurd.
Are you kidding me? Can you imagine if just like right after we got Kirk Cousins, it was like, yeah, he's done. I mean, Luck was supposed to play another 7 years.
Yeah, as a star.
All right. We'll wrap it up there. That was a fun show. Bunch of stories. Training camp underway. By the time you're listening to this, it's Thursday. Arguably the best day of the week. Just a great day.
Friday Junior.
Everyone loves Friday Junior.
Friday Junior is just awesome. And then once you get to Thursday night.
No, wrap the show.
Man, I like Thursdays. All right. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Jack's least favorite day of the week. But hopefully we can make it a little better. We'll see you then.